Good evening. Welcome to the 8 o'clock hour. And the observations at 8 o'clock basically show the HRR may have been a bit too dry, as snowfall has been reported as far north as the North Shores of Long Island and pushing into New York City, northeastern New Jersey, and of course, it is steadily snowing in central New Jersey, with a pretty good accumulation already starting to show up in portions of central New Jersey, dusting to a half an inch down towards southern New Jersey and Delaware. Snowfall is already pushing over 2 inches. So, thus far, the forecast is evolving pretty much as expected. Let's take a look at the observations here, and we start off with the radar that I was using last time at the end. And what happened is that it is shifted into clear air mode to pick up the snowflakes because the snowflakes are very, very fine. And you could still learn a lot with this radar. Okay, so it looks a little funky, but get the idea here is that on the higher end of the spectrum here is where you're seeing your moderate snow. But you see this signal right here and this one right here. This is a sign that we're going to continue to see expansion and some snow flurries up here and very light snow. Again, we're only expecting a trace to a rogue inch here and there in these areas, but you're seeing the moisture transport reaching these areas, and now the lifting is enough to start to support some of those snow flurries popping in. Meanwhile, up in northeastern New Jersey, we're seeing snow starting to get reported, very light, but it is starting to accumulate. Same thing on Long Island. In fact, take a look at the temperatures. Remember last hour, let's go back last hour, and we were above freezing. Now we are below freezing and falling with temperatures again falling around 32, and with snow being reported throughout Long Island now. Snow is now being reported in Newark. Light snow, but snow nonetheless. Same thing same thing around central New Jersey. We're starting to get reports around Reading. In fact, let me see. One individual already reached out to me in Upper Bucks County. You're seeing snowfall starting to get reported, and accumulation is starting already. We're not seeing snow yet here in the upper portions of Lehigh Valley and over the Poconos, but I do expect some flurries and light snow and a trace here and there. Again, your primary focus for your precipitation is right in this area here. Now, another thing that's very interesting is that we're starting to see signs of banding. Let's take a look at this radar right here, a little bit zoomed out, and a couple of interesting points here. First of all, remember when I was showing the water vapor satellite picture, and take a look at the infrared satellite picture. So you can see your lifting is this far north, up towards northern Pennsylvania, right, and cutting through the uh, Hudson River Valley and into southern New England. Now, obviously, you're not going to see your precipitation shield get all the way that far north, at least not anything steady, but it tells you in the mid levels of the atmosphere, moisture has gotten that far north. Lifting has started to push that far north, and we have the lifting because of the enhanced cold cloud tops, right? So we all see this without having to study any of the model guidance or try to refresh the HRR 50 times, even though it's not lining up to actual current radar. All of that is being supported by these observations, these thoughts, I mean. Now take a look at the radar. Okay, so you know you have cold cloud tops up here, but now you're starting to see signs of precipitation breaking out. What's going to happen is a very light snowfall is going to start to fill in. It's going to be hard to pick up on the radar. You're probably going to have to go into clear air mode in here as well. But the fact we're starting to see this little expansion here tells me we'll get a little bit of a light period of light snow. But what that also means for the New York City Metro, the central New Jersey, Philadelphia Metro, southern New Jersey, is that you're more likely to start to see these little moderate to heavy bursts show up. And one's here, and then your steady heavy snows down here, down towards the Delmarva, where again, based on the observations, we're seeing moderate to heavy snowfall starting to show up. In fact, in Wildwood, we have moderate snow with visibility only a half a mile. So this is all lining up pretty much as expected, where your best potential for accumulating snowfall pushing over 4 inches is over southern New Jersey, extreme southeastern Pennsylvania, generally along and south of Philadelphia, around the Delmarva Peninsula. That's where we're going to expect our heavier snowfall. I really like the idea of at least 2 inches in Monmouth County, back through Trenton, and just to north of Philadelphia, right on the northern side of the Philadelphia metro. And the same thing on the south side of Long Island, the way that we're already starting to see that snow accumulation. And again, this is going through at least 3 a.m. So from now to 3 a.m., I think we can definitely pull off 2 inches, push above that, and definitely push over 4 inches here. The max that we're going to see out of this is 8 inches. Okay, that is the max. Okay, and the reason why is because of the speed. The other thing I want to point out is that notice this back end here a little bit further north. So you could take the light snow trend right about here. That's where we'll see this fill in as this storm continues to push to the east. So here's your northern extent of your accumulating snowfall pushing through, and then to the north of that, a trace here and there. So this is all pretty much lining up as expected. And the other thing you could check out is your frontogenesis. Again, this is your lifting. Hasn't changed all that much. It's lining up pretty much in the same space, and it lines up perfectly between -6 and -8 degrees Celsius, well, in that perfect snow growth region right here over central New Jersey. So things are certainly panning out to start to get a little bit interesting. I'm still saying that the current forecast is the way to go, but we could see a little bit of maybe slight overperformance in a few spots. We'll have to keep an eye on it and watch it. But certainly right now, the forecast is evolving pretty much as what was forecasted. We'll be back in an hour. We'll take a look to see whether or not we start to get more accumulating snowfall over to the New York City metro, and whether the intensification rates start to increase in southern New Jersey to start to support the idea of going maybe on the higher end of that snowfall range between 4 to 8 inches. So we'll be studying that. In the meantime, stay safe out there.